Alright, so it's been 4 months since my initial Playdate review, and I reviewed each and every comment that was left by you all. I appreciate the comments. But either way, a lot of them I agreed on and some I did. But the goal of this video is to revisit Playdate and provide an update after having it for a few months. Talk about some of the gripes I had, touch on the cost of the console, review each and every Season 1 game and see where they stack up, and provide a final update for the Playdate console. Either way, let's dive in and see if the Playdate long term is the console to get. Let's get it. Okay, so first line of business, cost. So this is one of the main factors that potentially almost deterred me from getting the Playdate. It's $200. Some of you agree that $200 might be too much for this little device, and I actually agree. There are a lot of devices that are in the $200 range that provide a little more than a Playdate. Let's check them out. Number 1, the Nintendo Switch Lite, also $200. Comes with a vast array of different games, has a backlight, can work with Nintendo Online Store, download games, can switch out Nintendo Switch cartridges, portable. The screen is a little bit bigger than the Playdate. Ask yourself, would you rather have the Switch or a Playdate? Alright, so next device for around $200, the Analog Pocket for $219. Now this thing, you can download a vast array of different ROMs, emulators. Now it doesn't have any proprietary games like Pocket, but you have a vast amount of ROMs and stuff you can carry and go. Now, the last one I want to throw in here is the PS Vita. Granted, this came out years ago, but on the aftermarket, you can get one for about $149 to $200, depending on the condition. Now, this is also a handheld device. The screen's bigger. In this particular model, the screen is OLED, it's backlit. You have proprietary games. You can do a whole lot of stuff. You can browse the internet, download music. It has a vast array of different things you can do. So, third one was the PS Vita. Okay, so let's quickly talk about the backlight. And in my opinion, it's needed. It should have been just like the Kindle, where you can adjust it. Granted, I know Playdate's whole MO was a super reflective screen, but the option to turn on the backlight would have been the icing on the cake. But I do want to applaud Playdate, because outside, the screen looks amazing. When there's light and everything's perfect, the screen is very good, but backlight would have been a really nice option. Alright, so we talked about the cost, and we talked about the backlight. Now the last thing I want to touch on are the Season 1 games. I reviewed all the Season 1 games. I gave my rating for each game. So feel free to skip through and jump to the game that you want to see my rating on, or just sit back and relax as I review all the games. Either way, stay to the end and I'll give my final summary on my experience with the Playdate for these last few months. Alright, let's do it. Alright, so the first one is Casual Birdie. This game reminded me of a photographer RPG style game. It has like a Pokemon vibe to it. I think this one was a good surprise when I first got the Playdate. The RPG flow, capturing the pics of birds and stuff. I mean, this game was pretty, cool when I first got it. So this one I definitely recommend. Number 2, Whitewater Wipeout. This game is frustrating. I mean, it took me a while to figure out how to get the surfer to surf, but once I got it, I guess it wasn't too bad. It's definitely on the harder side of games, but it's not a bad game. It takes a while to get the mechanics right with the crank, to get the surfer to move in the right direction and do tricks, but overall, it's alright. Number 3, Time Travel Adventure. Now, these are just my opinions on these games, and this one, I honestly hate it. The instructions were not clear. I was just spinning until I got to the next level. Maybe it's more to it, but I didn't have time to figure all that out. Hence, kind of why I gave it a 3. Number 4, Boogie Loops. Now, this game was pretty cool. It's a game for all the music lovers out there. I don't have much to say about this one. If you like making beats, this one might be the one for you. Number 5, Lost Your Marbles. Now this one I liked. Maybe I liked it because it had that old school vibe to it. Nothing too crazy. The mechanics were pretty smooth. I picked it right up and played. I think anybody can pick this one up and play. You can move the crank around to slowly move the marble around, which is pretty cool. And the characters in the game were pretty cool. I like that. So, pretty good game. Number 6, Pack Pup. This one's, different. It's like a Candy Crush type game, where you match the puzzles and you get scores based on that. So if you like Candy Crush, I think you like this game. Now, I did like the dog thing, so that kind of helped, boost my rating up just a little bit. But overall, this was a pretty good game. So, no complaints there. Number 7, Flipper Lifter. Now this game was pretty cool. You crank to move the penguin around to, move out through the different elevators and levels. I don't have much to say about this one. It's pretty cool, pretty simple. the rating I gave it was the rating I gave it. So, not too bad. Number 8, Echoic Memory. I think that's how you say it. Either way, like this game, no, I didn't like it. Like, what is this game? It didn't have any instructions. It wasn't clear for me like what to do. It took too long, in my opinion, to figure out what to do and how to get to the point. Now, my attention span might just be short or whatever, but after a few minutes, I just moved on. I had other games in the season to play, so maybe I'll revisit this one and actually give it its thorough review, but I didn't like this one. Drop a comment if you actually gave this game a chance, because for me, I did. Number 9, Demon Quest 85, a puzzle game. I kind of liked it. Takes a little while to understand, but I gave it a thumbs up for the puzzle aspect. Now, if you don't like puzzles, I'm trying to figure out if you would like this game. You might skip it altogether, but if you like puzzles, this is the one for you. It can get pretty detailed, so pretty cool puzzle game. Number 10, Omaze. That's how you say it, but either way, now this type of game, it's pretty cool. I think this is kind of my type of game. Easy to pick up and play. Hard, but not too hard. You gotta kind of rotate the ball movement with the crank. I found myself playing this for a while. I found myself even picking this one up over some of the other games sometimes, you know, to play. And you can kind of beat your high score and whatever, but you know, pretty good game. I gave this one an 8 out of 10 because I liked it. Number 11, B360. Also my speed. Classic game. And honestly, perfect game for the crank. Now, it can get hard at times, which is good, but I found it pretty hard to use the crank to bounce the ball sometimes, but it's pretty simple and fun. And as you go on, the levels get harder. And you know, you can, like the previous game, you can beat your high score. So, like this game. Pretty good game. Number 12, Ratcheteer. Now, this game is pretty awesome. Almost felt like a complete game out the pack. It's like a Zelda RPG type game for the Playdate. So, that's a thumbs up already. You can kind of navigate through the map. You can pick items up on the way. It's pretty detailed. I can easily pick it up and figure out what to do. So that right there all together, I gave this game a pretty high score. Number 13, Battleship Godois. Now, not a bad game. Controls a little wonky to me. Something about it didn't really draw me to keep playing. So I kind of played for a little bit, put it down and never went back to it. But maybe I'll give it another shot. My rating's kind of low because it just didn't vibe with me. So yeah, either way, moving on. Number 14, Forrest. Now this game is pretty dope. It's like a Mario mixed with a Park Ranger type vibe. Played this for a while. I love the mechanics, and the theme on this one's pretty dope. So I definitely recommend this one. You know, it has a good storyline. Yeah, not much else to say. Pretty good game. Definitely recommend picking this one up to play. Number 15, Snake. Now honestly, come on. Like, who doesn't love Snake? And paired with the crank, makes this a really good one. There's not much too else to say about this one. It can get harder the more you move up, but just like any Snake game, the higher you go, the harder it gets, which is the point, right? But you know, pretty good game. I like how you use the crank to move the Snake, so I would definitely recommend this one. Number 16, Sasquatchers. Not really feeling this one. It just didn't vibe with me. Some others might like it, but me personally, I'm not really feeling it. It is an RPG type, you know, game, but sometimes RPGs don't really do it for me. So I have it at a 5. Maybe it can be higher if I gave it a chance, but maybe someone in the comments likes this one more than me, which is fine, but I just don't like it. Number 17, another RPG, which I like more than Sasquatchers. I think this one has a nice flow where you can kind of focus on using whatever you can to, you know, beat monsters and different things. It's a pretty detailed RPG. This one made more sense to me. It flowed a little bit better with the side scrolling, and it moved perfectly with the crank. I definitely recommend checking this one out. Pretty good RPG type game. Yeah, I think it's a good one. Number 18, SpellCorked. Now this one revolves around spells and stuff. It's like you mix a whole bunch of stuff with the crank and all that stuff with potions and magic. It's alright. Pretty cool game. It didn't give me a wow factor to make me come back to it. It's kind of a one and done for me. Number 19, Sled. Now this game is pretty cool. It had a cool OG factor to it, which I liked. I found myself picking this one up a lot. I guess I have a theme for the type of games I like, but yeah, this one's cool. It uses the crank pretty good. The mechanics are smooth. It does glitch a little bit sometimes. Maybe an update will fix that, but great game to pass time. Great game for anyone who doesn't even play games. Can pick this one up and just play it. Number 20, Executive Golf DX. Now this game I really wanted to love, but something about it, man, this game is hard as hell. There's no way of knowing where to hit the ball. Like, it doesn't really tell you where the hole's at. Like, finding the objective sometimes is hard. But honestly, this game really could have been like one of the best games out the season, but it just didn't execute it as good as, in my opinion, it should have been. Like the fundamentals are there, but it's very hard. It's a lot of junk in the way. I mean, it's just, I don't know. It's a very hard game to get a hold of. Kind of gave it a low score just because of that. All right. Number 21, Questy Chess. Not bad game. Don't hate it. Love it. Don't hate it or love it, but it's kind of hard to figure out what's going on. Almost like a RPG style chess game. I like chess, but I really wasn't into this. I really just play chess, but either way, not bad, not the worst, not good. So yeah, Saturday edition. Now, this is one of the best games on Playdate. It honestly, it's like an old school Game Boy game. I mean, it has everything. It has the graphics, the storyline. I found myself picking this one up and I just kept playing. The puzzles, just everything was top notch for this game. It does have some quirky text stuff along the way, and this game is top tier. I gave this a 10 out of 10. It might be one of my favorite games. So, Saturday edition, great game. Number 23, Hypermeter. Nice game, uses the crank pretty good. Can get pretty repetitive, but overall I like this game. It's one of those games where you can pick up and play anytime. It doesn't require much thought, so with that I like it. Yeah, not bad. Number 24, Zipper. Probably one of the most unique games on the Playdate, or on the season. It's like a turn-based adventure game with a twist. It did take a while to figure out what's going on, but once you got it, it's pretty cool. So, pretty cool graphics, pretty cool storyline, and it's different. I like that it's different. So, I give this one, as my last one, a pretty good thumbs up. I gave it a pretty high score because of its uniqueness, and, the flow. It was a pretty good game for the Playdate. Now, after having the Playdate for a few months, these are my final thoughts. Do I recommend it? Yes and no. Yes, in the fact that this is a very niche product. I think it caters to a particular audience of gamers, which is a good thing. It has indie games, it has proprietary games for the Playdate, which is very different than anything else out in the market right now. So I think that's a plus. Now, why I don't recommend it is the cost, and to my opinion, the backlight. This thing really needs a backlight. Now I may just be old, but I do enjoy the option of, having the light. I can play on my couch when it's dark or whatever. Now, I do know that the initial intent of the Playdate wasn't to include a backlight, so there's that. But in my opinion, this would have been a killer product if it included a backlight, and the price point was just a little bit lower. But either way, this is what we have, the Playdate. Drop a comment below on your thoughts on the Playdate. Whether you're going to get one, you have one, or, you sold yours. Either way, this was the Unboxing Gadget. I'll catch you next time. Peace.